guys, welcome back to my channel. AestheticLina here. So today I'll be reviewing the iPhone 11 because that's the phone I'm using, or I've been using sometimes, like majority of the time, but sometimes that I used to make my videos. And then people do ask me like, what kind of camera do I use, and why is my camera so smooth? Now, a lot of people know that when it comes to camera, iPhone and Samsung are the ones topping. I know people might say, oh, that's a lie, like Google, that is Google, but I haven't used Google Pixel, so I can't say, because everyone has their own perspective. How you see something, it might not be how I do see it. So I would say for me, though these two companies, Samsung and Apple, at least are at the lead top. Now, sometimes I do shoot videos with this phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy A35 5G that I got newly. I think that was in April or May, I've forgotten. But this phone is a magic, but it can be compared to the iPhone 11. I know some people might be asking why, but there's a slight difference with their cameras. Although the iPhone does well when it comes to daylight, like this is me now just with my lamp and then natural light coming from my window, and it's like this. So imagine when you're in a well-lit room, it's going to be like a blast. But when it comes to like evening shots, maybe camera, like the pictures are okay, but the videos not so much, because there are lots of grains. But this one, it does well both in the video part. It eliminates the grains, but it's still seen, but it's much better than the iPhone 11. Now, this iPhone 11, I got it for, if I could remember clearly, there is a store here in Italy called ONEMIX. So I got it there for 500 euros. It was, I didn't want to go for 64 gig, but because the 64 gig was like, I think 400 or something. So I got this one for 500, and I got the 128 gigabytes of storage, and it's nice, but for me it was kind of expensive, because then when I got this, I think that was when the iPhone 13 or 14 was coming out there. I can't remember. So, but so far so good. It's nice. It's a great phone. Some people might say, why did you get this in 2023? But to me, I don't see myself upgrading very soon, because it still works fine. The battery percentage is at I think not the percentage I could speak of. I would say like there's this thing that Apple does, like when your battery is at least 70 upwards, it can retain much power, but when it's like below, kind of dies off quickly. So it's like 90%, so that's okay for me. And the phone so far, I've been using it for content creation. I've been taking pictures, and sometimes when I create content, people like, are you sure this is the camera I'm using? Sometimes they tell me, still the camera is that. I just tell them it's the iPhone 11. Just the thing is that with shooting content with it, you have to know the angles, you have to know the camera settings. Like mine, I set mine to 180p at 60 frames per second, because I feel that setting it at 2K or 4K or videos, it's kind of going to like my storage is going to get filled quickly. So what I just do is, after filming at 180 at 60 frames per second, when I'm editing it, my videos, I just go to CapCut and then turn the video to 4K. That's just how I do it, because that's the only way it could work well for me, and also save space in the moment, because I think CapCut has an extra saving space. So far so good. The phone has been nice, although the audio I'm using right now is the one from this mic right here. So I'm just going to unplug the mic and show you guys the difference between it. Now, right now, this particular audio is directly from the iPhone 11, and you can see the audio is nice, because but the thing is that it picks up background noises and everything. Like right now, it's windy outside, and doors and windows slamming, so you're just going to hear some of that. So when it comes to like the build quality, I love how it is. It's not that big, it's not that small, it's just medium size. And me, I'm someone who has, I don't know if my hands are medium or large, but I don't have small hands, so I can use it with one hand just like this. Well, I have big hands. So and when it comes to battery, the battery is nice, but thing is that because I don't use it as my daily drive, I can't really say if
the battery is going to like last for me, because I do support it with power bank. But in a day, like, this is my phone, this is my main phone that I use every day. This, I just bought the iPhone for just for content. So sometimes when I go out to shoot content, like one time I went out to shoot content with my professor, she called me to help them shoot some content. Before I could finish that day and went home later in the evening, I think there was around 4, the battery was at least, I think, 30%, which I know even with the extreme shooting of videos, because I didn't rest a little bit, I continued shooting videos, leaving it on standby, you know, the brightness and everything. But it did try to at least stay at 30% till I got home. So, but then I didn't plug it at a power bank. It did last. But the thing is that if I use this one, I know this one does get hot sometimes, but it's not going to get at that 30%. Highest is going to get at 50%, because you know, I left the house with it being 100%. So I'm just surprised that with everything, it's lasted at 30%. So I've talked about camera, I've talked about battery, I've talked about the build quality. So let's talk about like, how is it when I'm using, like, some people do ask, is it because people, like, some people do buy iPhone based on peer pressure. They see their friends, families, or people that they know they use iPhone, they'll be like, oh, let me just join, you know, because of the green bubbles and everything. But I don't think it's that way. If you have Samsung makes you okay, by all means go with it. If it's Apple, that's all right. Like, I use the two ecosystem because there are some places that iPhone lacks that the Samsung does very well, and there's a place that Samsung, you know, lacks and Apple does it. Like, for example, me sharing files between these two phones, it's a hassle. It's a very big hassle, because Apple has AirDrop, Samsung has Quick Share. It doesn't work if you try to connect it to Apple. It doesn't work. So what I do is I use this app called Zenda. I don't know if you guys know it. It's on Play Store. It's very easier to connect, but sometimes it does take time because it has to use the QR code, the same Wi-Fi, and you know, this and that. But that's the only way I can use this phone to be able to transfer files in between each other. If not, it won't work. So apart from that, I don't have any other problem with the phone. The battery is nice, the camera is good, everything is okay for me. But if I'm going to upgrade, like if you're coming from an iPhone 6, 7, 8, please buy the 11. If you're coming from like the X, I would advise you to go for the 13, because the 12, as I've seen a lot of reviews, I haven't used it, so, but I've seen a lot of reviews, people are saying the battery is bad. So go for the 13. If I'm going to upgrade, I'm not going to go for the 12. I'm going to go for either the 13 or the 14. So that's how I think it should go, because I don't think you should be spending more money, because even watching Apple events that was a few days back, between the iPhone 15 and iPhone 16, there isn't so much difference. So Apple just gives us the same thing every day. iPhone 11, I know that the design is a little bit different from the Rex, maybe from the 12 upwards, but I think with all this, if you have money for the iPhone 11, you can go for it. But just that if you want to buy a phone, think about the upgrade, and also the updates. Like, what I mean by that is, like, for example, this phone, Samsung promised a 4 years update, but then with this one, like last time, it got the iOS 16.1, I think. So I think you guys should you know, before you want to buy a phone or purchase anything as such that concerns tech, you should make your very thorough research. Like when I got this phone, people are telling me, why did you go for 11? I was like, no, the 11 was still good at that time, because it's okay. But even this one that I got, some people are complaining that it gets hot. Yes, it does get hot, but not always, because this phone, I've come to know that it wasn't made for gaming. But then people buy it and then game on it and then complain. Just like you always have to know the particular product you're buying, know what it's for, because this phone is just for casual watching movies and everything. But then I also noticed that when you use it at a temperature like during summer, it did get hot a lot, because when I'm outside, I put it at the brightness, full big brightness, so that I can see the display was not that bright, but whenever I turn the brightness up, it kind of gets hot and everything, because multitasking is a little bit difficult for it. Like sometimes when I'm on a WhatsApp call with my sister and I'm sharing my WhatsApp screen, maybe showing her some things online, it does also get hot. So I think Samsung should please work on that. Apart from that, all the phones I've used so far are nice. The iPhone 11 is good, so if you want to buy it, you can buy, but just make other researches. And that will be all for today's video. If you have any questions, please let me know and I will be answering you down in the comments. See you guys on the next one. Bye.